Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. So this is the interview Halimah Abubakar had with a guy, I don't know his name, I'm sorry about that, and Princess Comedian, and I think Gistlover was live with them as well. So she narrated a little bit of her own story part, and I also understand that Apostle has also decided to sue Halimah to court with maybe
Can you
something
hear
like
me,
maybe it's
Mr.
1 billion naira or so. Anyway, enjoyed the interview. There was a lot of network issue there. Please pray for Halimah and let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. Do take care. Remember to like the channel as well to like the video. Thank you. Bye.
Can you hear me, Mr. It's empty, no? Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me try and see. Can you hear me? Can you hear? I can't hear you, Mr. Sam. Using a Bluetooth.
True is also that. Can you actually shed more light into that as well?
That's very true. He proposed over seven. He's
Over what?
over 7 times. Like run to marry and do this, marry and do that. I don't want to see you with anybody because you're my wife. Everybody knows in my family because that's what I told you.
Oh, okay.
That's Suleiman. Sorry, Johnson.
It's okay. Okay. So, but why did the supposed man of God that were you actually make this work? So I'm going to go back to the question I asked you earlier about whether what you had was a dating relationship or a sexual relationship.
We had a dating relationship. We were together 6 years. I've known him for 11 years now.
Those years before you start.
Mr. Sam, can we focus?
Yes, those years you knew him before you started dating. What kind of relationship did you have? You said you've known him for 11 years, you dated him for 6 years.
Yeah, he called me on the phone and I told him this is not Halimah. He wanted to speak with Halimah. And I said this wasn't Halimah, and he kept insisting that it was. So he kept sending messages to me, and I kept saying, stop sending the message. And he said, they told him already that was what I was going to say. So he kept sending messages until he said, what will he do to convince me that he wants to be a good friend and be of help in any way he can, that he's a fan of mine. And I told him I don't really associate with people via phone. And he kept pushing for like 2 months, and then he sent me a very long message that I should give him a chance, or so I can't remember. And he said I should. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So he called me by himself, The first time he eventually, when he said I should talk to him, he said I should send my account number so that he can show me that he's serious or something like that. And then I sent it to him, and he wired me 500,000 that day. I think I saw him 2 weeks later. That's like after talking for 4 months.
In all honesty, did you know he was married as at when you started dating him?
No, I did not. He told me he was separated. I mean, if I know it's another thing, I know what I'm going into. I didn't know. Even I was asking him, you should go back to his wife. I mean, the family, is more important than anything. And he said he knows what he wants, that he's working on, they're working on it. I usually, beg of him to go back. There was no time and I ever said, don't go back. I said, go back to your wife. It's not good you have young children so that the mother can be there. I didn't know that he was lying and all that.
Did you guys ever get to the point where you were engaged, or there was a form of traditional exchange between you two, or introduction?
Oh, well, he proposed more than 7 times. You know how some of you guys do. And he called my mother on the phone and my elder.
I'm not one of those guys, by the way.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying, guys lie a lot. Okay. So he's called my family together. He's been here several times. He's invited my mother several times for meeting of the so-called introduction, and even my father. So I don't know what to call that if that's not an introduction. It is crazy.
So were you also not scared that you were going into a relationship with a supposed pastor that was not supposed to be having sexual relations with anybody because he's supposed to be holy?
Well, at that time, I didn't know he was a pastor. I wouldn't know who is a pastor and who isn't until I Google. In 2009, I didn't know who he was. And he even asked me, he said, are you sure you don't know me? And I asked him, am I supposed to know you? Because I really didn't know him. And he kept asking me if I don't know him, like I'm supposed to know him. So I said, I don't know him. And when I went on Google, I only got one search, which is not on Facebook, whatever. I didn't see any other thing. And then gradually, he started showing me like a pamphlet of the church. He said he was teaching the students on Sundays, like Sunday school. He taught, public speaking, and he owns an oil and gas company in Port Harcourt. So you can see that he is an ouchie, but he told me he lives in Port Harcourt, which is another lie, So I didn't know him as a pastor. I didn't know. When I knew, I was so scared, and I was, let's break up and all that. And he called my mother. He was shouting that, look at what I'm doing. If the religion, because he's a Christian, I'm not trying to, he was trying to make it a religious thing. I think you feel what he's doing is natural. He's not doing anything bad, because he told me, he's human. That's what he usually uses as the excuse. Several times, I wish maybe my mom is here. She would have attested to that. Severally, I have. That's what he says. He's human, and God knows I did not know. When I knew, we broke up for a while, and he came, because when I do something like that, he will go, and then you have to start, saying sorry, what's the problem and all that, before he will not tell you again the reason. So after a while, like 4 years later, he said they're trying to go back and all that. That's when I knew he was married.
Well, did you know he was a pastor?
No, I didn't know he was a pastor. I didn't know. He told me himself after 2 years. He started bringing his tapes. He told me he's a Sunday school teacher in church, not a pastor. So I wasn't seeing a pastor. He's a Sunday school teacher. I mean, I don't know if there's difference. And he said, he's allowed to have a relationship because he doesn't want to have anybody else. That's why he wants me, as his girlfriend. And we were together for 6 years. It would have been 8 if he wasn't doing commando. You understand? And kept me bleeding for a while. We would have been together for 11 years, or probably we would have broken up now, because of course I know who he is right now.
Okay.
Most of the things I found out online.
When did you stop dating?
We stopped dating in 2017, and that was January 2017. Even while I was sick that period. He was still coming to see me. Then he left and came back again in February. Then I didn't see him in 2017 at all. Then he came back 2018 to tell me that the government were after him. That's why I didn't hear from him and all that, all sorts. I have the conversation, So, I mean, somebody that has been going through a lot, that has been suffering, waiting and all that, you didn't say anything. You said the government is after your life, 1 year later. I was just calm, because I cannot just attack. So I was waiting for him to explain to me what's going on, because I saw that, they are back together, him and his wife, and I was seeing all the. You understand?
Did you ever get pregnant for him?
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Why didn't you keep it?
Yes, of course. Oh my God! When I lost it, he was crying. You would think that thing was real. He was crying. He was shedding tears that I lost his child. It's crazy.
So how many times did you get pregnant for him?
3 times. The last one left me bleeding. I have to take tablet to stop it if I want it to stop.
When did you stop? How long did you bleed?
For 5 years. I actually just came out of a long hiatus. I've been in my own spiritual battle. So I just came back. The blood just stopped rushing. You won't believe it. I wasn't seeing my period because I don't know which period.
You were bleeding for 3 years after you
No. I was bleeding for 4 years.
I live in Lagos. And he stays in Auchi. Is the network okay? Can you hear me? Hello, Ma, can you hear me? Auntie Princess. Okay, now the network is not from me. Oh my God. Oh. No, I think it's showing light. Auntie Princess. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I live in Lagos. Why
Okay.
he told me then that he lives in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
So I assumed he was, his base was Port Harcourt. So of course I can't be going to Port Harcourt knowing that he has kids. There's no way. I've never even suggested that I come visit.
Halimah, wait. You never visited him in 6 years, even though you were dating.
Yeah, because
you never visited him.
I have a place where we meet. I don't need to visit him. I can't do that because I'm working. I was always busy. Yeah.
Because normally that would be a red flag. You understand? No. If you're dating somebody for that long, and according to you, you said obviously he's spoken to your mom, he's spoken to your family, and he's made efforts to see them. So one would expect that in 6 years, if you're dating someone, you should know where he lives. You should know where he puts his head. Even if he has
where he lives. I know where he lives, but I've never visited. I think
so that's the
one, right?
Yes, the truth. The truth.
Yeah, so that's the truth. We always say we have an apartment in Maryland where we see each other.
Okay.
It's like just for 2 of us. Or if he's in Protea in Ikeja here, I go meet him for whatever time he's around for. I'm being true by telling you the places.
I appreciate that. Now, you also said something. You said he told you, him and his wife, they were separated. Yes. Then years later, he said they were coming back.
Yes.
That was
I
when
always tell him to go back to her, and all
so
that. He always has a word to say.
Okay, so you knew he was married. You just thought he was separated.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you something else. You said you were pregnant, and at the third time you were bleeding. So I want to ask you a direct question. That bleeding, did he give you anything? Did he directly give you something to terminate the pregnancy? Did he bring water or anything, or it was just you?
I don't know. Anytime we have something to do together, I notice that, you know, I bleed. So I usually tell him that's okay, I'm bleeding, you know. But no, it's not like something that I can recall. I know that you know, whenever I'm there, I'm free to drink anything, whether from him or I wouldn't know whatever it is that. Yeah, he did not. I've not. He didn't even ask. He never said. I think what he told me was that after a while it was to go and die. I don't know.
Sorry, can you come back? I didn't get that. What did you say?
Sorry, what was the question again? Can you ask me?
I said, did he check on you at all when you were sick?
Oh no. Oh, he doesn't do that. I don't think he's allowed to do that.
You mentioned something now. You said was to go and die. I didn't get that.
Oh, that's what he told me. He never asked of me. Even throughout this period, even the other, you know, during my during this whole issue.
Okay.
You think somebody will get in touch to say, okay, how do we? When the story came initially, I quickly, you know, sent it to him. What do I say? He said I should go and die.
That's
and
what he said.
I was still trying to protect him even then, because when Gistlover sent me the DM, I sent it to him. You understand? So, and he said I should go and die. So I replied to Gistlover because I mean, there was no point.
When you were sick, did AGN come to visit you at all? Anybody from AGN?
No, not the first time, not the second time. No,
they didn't come at all.
AGN. Yeah, I can't be waiting for AGN. AGN don't really do that.
You saw the list that Gistlover posted. There was a long list of people. Okay, so that list that you saw, do you think that there were some people that were missing from the list, or there were some people that were not supposed to be there, or something?
Well, I wouldn't know except the ones he told me about. You know, because he name drops. If there is one thing he knows how to do, is name dropping. So when he drops that name, you're going to, you know, bring a gossip that would come back to the person who he really wants to ask about. You know. But no. What was that? There was no
name on the list that you felt, you know.
Okay, no. No, there was one there that I saw. He told me she was his cousin. One thing you need to understand is I think Nollywood people think I'm the one who brought out the story. They didn't even know. Yeah, that's what they think. You understand? They don't know that the names were sent to me. You understand? And I just speak to my own name because I know it's true and enough lies. I am going through something. And we've not arrived, you know, at a very, I don't know what's going on with my life. Before I die, I need to say it. You understand? If the person involved is, you know, nonchalant about my health. So that was why I replied. The rest of the people there, I don't know what he does with his pants, you know. So I don't know how many people he has slept with. That's his PRs. That work is for his PRs, for them to go and debunk and do what they want to do. But yes, you said small compared to what he told me himself, and that he has, you know, he has repented. So seeing my name there, while you have, you know, destroyed these people to me, and made me not have friends in Nollywood because of all the things you told me, you know, it was shocking for me to see my name and so many people, because I thought I was the only one. At least, you know, there was one person who he told me was his cousin.
And who was this person?
It's not the cousin. You understand? No, it's not. I don't want to.
It does mention. Okay, yes, don't let's. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you
my own and ran with it. Because at the end of the day, the person you have business with is the person who is talking about you.
Exactly.
I mean, how would they know? How will I know the people he has slept with? Except if I'm there.
Exactly.
Or I brought the person myself. That's the only way I would.
So you didn't introduce any of your friends to him?
No, not in Nollywood. But
yes, I did. You introduced your friends outside Nollywood to him?
Yes.
We also heard about the two-son thing that he used to have.
No.
You never, no, you didn't hear about the mother and daughter stuff that
mother and daughter?
Yes.
Who?
Did you hear of any?
No.
Did you hear of any?
No.
Okay. So, but when the thing came out, there were other stories that also came out. So I want to try and cast your mind back. Do you remember the lady from Ghana? The
Which
Ghanaian lady. There was a lady from Ghana that became mentally unstable. Did you ever mention her?
Who, him?
Yes.
He never mentions all these things. These things are government that are following him. That's all till date, if you ask him. In fact, if you ask him, he might probably say AP or one of these people, or P, whatever. They are the people who sent me too. But it's just that he can't say that. But usually that's what he says.
So, okay, I want to ask you a question now because I obviously know you've been through a lot. I don't know how much pain you have been through, but I want to ask you a question. And like you said, you'll be as truthful as you can. How do you feel now? How have you been coping? How have you been faring? How have you been feeding?
That's good. Thank you so much. My family, number one, backbone, my family, now I know, because, I thought I had friends. Even if you hear that, oh, there is this thing that is out, you should not automatically feel I'm the one who gave up the name. Because if I am, you should be able to call me that, babe, what is this?
Yes.
I have only 3 people in Nollywood who called me for the 1 year that this issue has been on ground.
Wow.
1 year. There are just about 4 people that called me out of probably 1 million people that I know in Hollywood. So none of them, I was not anything.
How about St. George? Do you have any relationship with? Have you stopped building?
Yes.
Great, thank God.
Yes. Oh God Almighty, that's a relief from me. That's a relief, and I'm so grateful. Though I went through hell and all that, but it is good that I went through it, because I wouldn't have had, a story to tell and to see the people who actually like me. So I'm going to say my family is, they are my rock. When I was unconscious, they were the one there battling, because they are the one who, know the story. They know what I'm going through. And then when I go out and act like nothing is wrong, it's like, it's crazy for somebody to do that.
Can I ask?
I was sick, but
yeah,
they don't, yeah. Go ahead.
You said you were unconscious. Were you in coma,
Yes, I was in coma for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Twice. Twice. Yeah, because I didn't know, if it was, I just didn't know. The blood was just going. And I didn't know where it was going to. So, you understand, when I went to, until I got to the spiritual home, that's when I knew what was going on with me. I never accused anybody of anything. But then when something happened and you understand, you are avoiding that issue, or you're trying to show me power, and you know what I'm talking about, and you're dodging, or you're trying not to be accountable, is what I won't be. Nobody will make me look like a liar. So that's why I just allow people to know about what's going on about my life. If not, I would have coded everything and nobody would have known anything.
Okay, so some people are sending in questions, but to be able to read it, I just quickly want to put on my glasses. Then I want to ask you to please, do you have any relationship with Shan George? Was she in the picture at all?
Shan George is just unnecessarily, busybody. A matured woman that has I don't know if she doesn't think. I was on my own when she was insisting that I should come to Calabar and please be a guest for her, her governor coronation or something. So, and she knew I was not feeling fine, and she forced me to go on that trip. When we were going, she brought Suleiman Johnson's issue, and she just started talking about him. You understand? There was no connection between I and her and Johnson. She just brought the name up, which means there was a reason for her bringing it up. I have never sat with you, Shan George, to talk about anything personal. It was just a new friendship. You get. So I didn't know why she, squeezed herself inside somehow. And she was asking me personal questions, which eventually I still told Johnson. I sent him a message. I said, Shanjot is saying this about you. And he told me she's a gossiper. That anything she says, I should not believe her. That she's just lying. You understand? So, and then she came back to come and write that nonsense she was writing after telling me that, and after him telling me she's a liar and a gossip. And at that time, he wasn't even seeing me, but, you know, he was replying, you know, trying not to be accountable. So Shanjo just inserted herself in a place where she was not needed. That's why I had to come for her. Because, you know, she liked carrying, or she liked gossiping a lot. She said too many things to me that I couldn't take that one.
Okay. So that means while you were going through the hell you were going through and trying to just, you know, put up a strong front, she came and pretended to be like a friend.
A friend.
And then invited you for this event, which you said, I mean, you were not strong enough, but you still tried your best to attend.
It was myself, Chacha AK. Chacha AK was there. Myself and Chacha AK.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, because I can see she's going through her own too. So what is it? That's why I had to drag Shanjot. I've not dragged Shanjot yet.
Okay, do you think was Chacha among the names that Apostle mentioned?
I don't know, but I'm just telling you who was there. If I'm
okay at that time,
I'm saying my story, and anybody's name can fly in.
Okay. So I also when you were talking about when you were unconscious, you mentioned that you only saw maybe just 3 people from.
No. Actually, Yabojo came here the first time. It was still Yabojo's story that Shanjot was talking about, and Johnson told me Yabo was his cousin. So I know Yabojo as his cousin. So if you can tell me Yabojo is his cousin, you can see everything was a mirage. It was a, what do you call it? I don't know. It's like a pathological liar. How can she be your sister? Now, suddenly, then I'm like, oh my God, how can your cousin be among these people? Anyway, I'm just trying to tell you, oh, this is this, and anybody's name can enter, because this is a true life story. There is nothing, you know, to be proud about. I'm just, I just want people to learn. You understand that there are a lot of people out there who don't like you, and there are a lot of men who are out there to deceive women, and for us not to be greedy too. At that time, I was praying to God to, you know, send somebody to me. I won't lie to you. So when he came, I thought, oh God, you're nice. I didn't know, you know, I actually, you know, that was a rock.
500K. He probably sent you more money over time, according to what you're saying.
Of course, now we were dating. We started dating.
Okay.
Yes.
So he was somebody saying, okay, I think it was this level.
I'm not reading the.
Me too. I can't read it. That's why, because of the light. But I'm using this. So I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
That time, after the period that he didn't call you, I want you to think back from that period till now, especially when news was flying around. Did he send you death threats? Did he send you voice notes? Did he threaten you in any way?
Yeah, the threat is for me to go and die now. You understand? Because he didn't think I'll come and agree that yes, we dated, or yes, I was sick, or I had a spiritual attack, or something. I don't think anybody, including my own family, didn't know that I was going to come out and say it and agree to it. You understand? Because the idea is to protect this person. When I found out, I was buying him caps. I was buying it. Wow. I was getting him things to wear just for him to, you know, disguise himself. Almost all the cap he's wearing, I bought all of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like I was trying to, you know, cover for him.
Cover for him.
Look at him denying everything and lying to my face, and then doing what he did and left me in pain. That would not have taken anything from him to just either send somebody or check some, you know, ask somebody to say, oh, this person is sick. He even told me while this thing was going on was that somebody said they should help me. He did not answer the person because he knows that I'm not a good person. Can you imagine? Help me. Somebody you dated for 6 years. Help. It has become help. And then I should go and die. So there is nothing for me to hide about it, you know. Yeah.
So did he at any point in time sue you for anything you posted or for anything you said? Did he sue you or did he threaten to sue you?
He did all that. I mean, we'll go and talk about our sex life there. I'm ready to go to court if he's ready. Just
Has he charged you to court already?
No, he did not. He just sent me a cease and desist letter. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of fighting. We can roll in the mud, no problem. If it didn't happen, that's when we would need to explain further.
Yes, but it happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, what do you think? Do you think from what he's doing, has he obviously after during the time that you were sick, he purposely stayed away? So
yes, even while I was bleeding.
Oh my goodness.
That's the dangerous part of it. And he was telling me he can't sleep with any other person. That's why. And that because it's me, you know, he's okay with it. The whole thing caught me unaware, and I was naive. I wasn't a spiritual person. I didn't know if it was love. I didn't know what it was. But because he told me, you know, I'm the only person and he can't do anything like this with another person while I was bleeding.
And this was how far after it started? Was it a month after, 2 months after, or when you just, when you just started?
Even at that time, when I'm on my regular period, he does that.
Wow.
You understand? So there is nothing up for him.
When you said, you made a statement, you said anytime you were with him, anytime you people had intercourse, you bled. Yes. Every time you are. Didn't that raise any red flag? Did you ask him any questions?
That's what I'm saying. That's when we started going out. I was dreaming of him sleeping with me.
Oh my.
So sometimes I don't know, I noticed a shadow. It would be like, you know, I just saw someone, you know, even in Asaba when I went to shoot, Mr. Titi can bear me witness. I couldn't act. I couldn't read my lines. My director said I'm not giving him what he wants. And then they had to call him as the next person on my phone because I was, you know, I was almost running mad. Something was going on and my head was really banging like I was going to run mad. So they had to call him. They gave him 50 missed calls. He didn't pick with my phone. My mother had to give him 15 missed calls before he called. Then he now called the location. They now asked him to talk to me so that I can act because I came to act in Asaba. When I got there, something entered me. Since then till today, like, I don't want to visit there because, you know, I don't know if, I just don't know. I called him and he just said, maybe I need rest. Like, sorry cannot come out of his mouth or what happened or, you know, he's always not knowing and all that. So my mother had to, you know, ask me to come to the village. I went to the village. We started going about acting, you know, and all that. And he kept telling me that he was coming. That's the funny part of it. You get. So we kept waiting, and then I started taking English medicine to stop it. Because if I sit down, there is no way I will not flood that place with blood.
Oh my, it was that bad. It was that bad.
I couldn't sit. If you go back to all the pictures I snapped on the red carpet, you see me with bloated tummy, with skin cuts. Those periods were the period I was going through hell. I was going through it.
Did his wife know about you?
I don't know.
So she never made contact.
From what I've seen and from what I've seen and what I'm still saying, he was living many lives because it's not double life again. It's many lives because I'm not the only one apparently. Oh, some are dead for real. The people I know, some are dead.
I don't understand. Please come again.
Like you know, people I know that knows
that he dated.
Yes, that was bleeding too. She died. Oh, the other one had the spinal cord. She had an accident. She was bleeding too. You know, they all came to me. The other one is a musician. She's late now. I want to face him in court if we are going to court so that, you know, we can have a really nice, what do you call it? Trial.
You have time to defend yourself. Did this musician came to you and, you know, spoke to you about him?
He told me already that he told her we are dating, so she's going to come and act like my friend, which is the same thing Iyabo did. So, you know, my dear, this thing is deep.
Wow. So the other person is now on the wheelchair.
Yes.
Or
I have their interviews.
You have their interviews. Good. So I was going to ask something before you. So while you were at the location, please make me understand, you were constantly bleeding.
Yes,
continuously.
I was bleeding, and I couldn't read my script. I could not
That must
read
have been because you lost too much blood.
Yes, so I couldn't say anything, and you know, it was just shameful. Something that you've been doing for years. Somebody will just come and destroy your life, and you're not the one calling him up and down. Somebody that, you know, shed tears to be with me. Something happened, and
this is
was that the ring you gave to me, the wristwatch, the promise, as in what was all that about?
He gave you a ring, so you guys were engaged or something?
He gave me a ring.
Proposed? He proposed?
Yes, and even a promise wristwatch. I have everything here.
So now I want to ask you, now we have a period of when he didn't come. Now we now have a period after the list came out. So now I want to pick from that time now. From that time up till now, apart from the time that he said go and die, did he make physical contact with you? Did he try
No. He sent somebody to threaten me and tell me if I do not debunk this, he will not talk to me again. Okay. And I sent him a message directly that, what do you mean you won't talk to me? Were you talking to me before? Because I've not heard from him since 2019. Okay. And suddenly, you understand, if you don't talk to me for that long, is it now? I didn't even care about all those things till one of the bloggers actually wanted to use me. She said, "Oh, this person was your ex, Abi, or you guys are still dating? I don't know, sir." She wanted to use her brain on me. So when she came, I'm like, "Why?" She said, "Because I just commented on Iyabo's page, and Iyabo has been the one saying so and so to Johnson about me." The lady said. So I said, "Why would you say a thing like that for?" Because she has been to my house, even though I knew they were small. Even if he said she's his cousin, I'm not stupid. Then she was coming close to me. You understand? I can't believe, you know, Iyabo is the so-called sister. She came to my house severally. Then I gave her a role in my movie. She gave me a role too, which I thought was a sisterly thing to do.
Was that period, what the time that Iyabo came to see you in your house, was that the period where you were at home bleeding?
When I started getting, yes. I actually cried to Iyabo that my boyfriend did this, and she was actually consoling me. Then I was emotional. Iyabo was consoling me, you know, and then she went to tell him, and he sent me a message that I'm going to tell every Nollywood story person about us. I'm like, can you imagine somebody I'm hiding? I've never agreed to have dated you. So the lady asked me to go and delete that comment from Iyabo's page, which I did. She now told me everything Iyabo said. I'm shocked when she wrote that thing she wrote. I'm like, she just wants to defend herself.
Okay, so which statement was this? Because you know, initially you said you just wanted to say your own part. You didn't want to bring other people. But now that you mentioned the statement, which was the statement they asked you to, you put up a statement. What statement was it that you were asked to delete?
What was the particular statement? No, okay, no, I just said beautiful. That's beautiful. That's all. I am always, you know, saying beautiful on her post. There was no maliciousness or anything.
So he asked you to delete that post?
No, a lady. I don't actually want to call her name. She did. She did a write up on this issue. You know. Okay. She came in to, you know, she came into my life with her own malicious intent, because she's been doing that anyway. So she now said I should go and delete it. Now that I don't know my enemies, I don't know my friends. So I went back after hearing what she said, then I deleted it. So I unfollowed Iyabo. I unfollowed her. So when I unfollowed her, I said, "Wow, I can't believe." And I said, "Thank you so much. You know, I can't believe you told me this and all that." I was, you know, saying, "Oh." She now said, but now she want me to do her a favor back. I said, "What is it?" She said she want me to send Johnson a message saying that she wants to write about both of us, so that she can come in and bring us together and all that.
So is this person a blogger, or is she in your industry?
Yes, Stella Dimoko. She inserted herself. I wasn't going to call her, but she brought herself inside.
Okay.
She posted on her page now and removed all her. My dad had, I think I went to Ghana to receive an award, and she said, why didn't I tell her, you know, why don't I give her my gist? I said, because I know her, I'm not somebody to sway anymore like that. I wasn't interested in anything she wants to write about my career. And then she kept saying she didn't know I was ill, but made 30 posts about it. It's not necessary. So he now said, I should send the story, let him see. And I sent him the story. When I sent him the story, she said, oh my God, that's not what she said I should send him. I didn't know I sent our chat instead of the blog post. So,
okay.
Yeah, so
that means when you sent it to Apostle, Apostle Suleiman told Stella. Stella now
Johnson. His name is Johnson.
Oh, why? Oh, Johnson. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know him as Apostle, so don't call him Apostle, please.
Okay, sorry about that. So when you sent it to Johnson, Johnson contacted Stella that see what she sent to me. And then Stella now said...
He now said I should ignore. He didn't answer any of these messages, all these says. Then he said ignore. When he said ignore, and now because then I already told him that my mother was ill. And then he was there insulting me. An actress called me that, do I know Suleiman? He's here insulting my parents and all that. After telling him,
where was he doing that?
I said, I need money. So he now thought he was talking about me. And the girl's name is Chioma Okoye. The Chioma Okoye now told me that, yes, that Sule is talking about me and insulting my parents. So I now sent him a message that because I asked you for money, you said if there is anything they need to buy, we should let you know. If anybody gives me money, it's a problem.
Wow. So it doesn't allow you to collect money from other people?
Nobody. So that's the only person I know. I don't do runs. Everybody knows that. So I don't understand. Seller was now saying he doesn't owe me. If I don't go and delete this thing, he doesn't owe me anything. My dear, I was pregnant 3 times. Do you know that? What's your business? You saying he doesn't owe me. How do you know that?
Okay, so that means while you were talking to him about that means he was in contact with Stella because Stella couldn't have known.
She now told me she thought I had a baby because I had to lie that I had a baby. So she now said she wants to come back and take care of my baby. How can you come back and take care of my baby? If I had a baby, is that how Stella is going to give my child away like that?
Wow.
She told me that's an innocent child. If there was a baby, is that how Stella would take that baby and give it to Johnson?
So this means that all the while she was in contact with you, somehow she was
with her.
Which is where I'm going, because all the while she was in contact with you, trying to get your stuff. That means she was in contact with him as well.
Yes, she was sending people to my DM so that I can tell them what the problem is. You understand? That's why she went and did that PSA immediately, because apparently they were fighting. She was the one who collected that money. What's Stella's business with collecting 2.5? Stella was the one who collected it just to send it to me, because I heard he insulted my mother. That's how she came about in this story.
Sorry, I don't get. Suleiman preferred to give the money to Stella to give you than to give it to you directly.
No, she said, since I know now, and this is bringing another problem, he should send. You understand? Because that's when he said he didn't want to help me until Stella said, I'm like, Stella telling you to help me. How is that possible? Wow. You're not even angry that I heard it from another actress. He was telling Stella to tell me that he was not dating the girl. He's not dating her. What's my business? If he's not dating her, is that what you're saying?
He's telling you that he's not dating Chioma Okoye.
Yes, that's his own problem.
So he was trying to mend that fence so that maybe you people could still get back together.
I don't know.
But in the interim, he said he wasn't going. He said he wouldn't have sent the money if not for Stella.
Yes, no. He said that while this argument, because they started saying blackmail or something. That was the money I asked for. My dad asked for. Yes. I lost 3 people in my house. She said it's a bogus story. I don't understand. 3 people cannot die in somebody's house.
It's
don't know what's bogus about it. What is bogus about it? If I say I need 100 million, she'll be somebody I know. I don't understand where blackmail is from.
Now, did she give the money to you?
She did. She now said I should send her a text direct to thank her. And I said thank you and thank him too. That's all. Since, Stella is the woman that I'm supposed to text my history to. I didn't tell her anything about my sickness. I didn't even say anything. I didn't tell her a word.
And you didn't grant the interview?
No, I did not grant any interview to anybody.
Okay,
I did not. She just wrote that thing and inserted her own. And, you know, it's a PR now. She has to work. You know, Stella is good at what she does. But, you know, she lies too much. That's one thing about Stella. She doesn't know where to stop.
Okay, so I want to bring your attention to something. I think the battery, maybe Gistlover's battery will soon go off. But if it goes off, I will come back live. You can join the live. But before that, in case it doesn't, okay, you said we should continue. So what I want to say now is that I want to say something. I want to say that from the whole, this scenario you just described, because I personally didn't even hear of all this, but from what you painted, could it even be that from inception, he asked her to stylishly come and meet you to see if
possible. There's nothing he cannot do. They asked me to debunk, which I said I'm not going to debunk. And they offered to give me money, which is why they started that 10 million naira there.
So who offered the money? Was it Stella or?
No, it was another lady called Blessing Ebuson. I have it on my phone. You understand? She said I should just do it and debunk and all that. You shouldn't be the one telling me this thing. Suleiman, Johnson should be the one telling me. You understand? I don't understand all those messages. I'm in pain. I'm dying. You are telling me to debunk. Debunk what?
And now, the same person that was claiming she needed connection with someone, she needed you to talk about that person, all of a sudden now has connection with him, is now the one bringing.
And then suddenly I'm now the evil person again.
So that's why I want you to look at it from that angle, that from the get-go, it might be that to be sure that you don't talk. You understand? If I keep a secret with you, if I keep a secret with you and I don't want you to tell a third party, and I now see that maybe people are saying stuff, I can send a neutral person to go and see, maybe you will tell them the secrets. Are you with me? Because from the old issue, it seems as if that's what happened.
I didn't tell her anything. I just said we are not in talking terms. She said she wants us to come back together. You understand?
I know
that I'm the one angry. She didn't even know that for what she said, she didn't know I was ill, which I find very, because she posted 30 things, 30 publication on that. You understand? So I don't understand what she wrote.
Sorry, she posted
that zero.
The publication, was it about your ailments or about your relationship with Johnson?
No. About she wrote about us in 2009 for you to know that it's either she gave him the number right from day one, having her plan, or probably I don't know, because those things are a long time ago. I've known Stella a very long time ago, and we've always had this issue. The first time she wrote about it, I told Encomion, and they suspended her, and she told me she was going to destroy me. So I don't know if this is the method she used, but that's the wrong method, because I don't know how to, when you ask me something and I need to say the truth, I will say the truth. You understand?
Okay.
I'm not that kind of person that you are going to silence in any way. There is no power that I'm scared of anymore.
When she came back to now ask you for this interview, this exclusive, you didn't see anything, you know, a red flag, because obviously years ago she said she was going to destroy you.
She just said she wants to expose.
Okay, she wants to expose him.
Yes, that she knows some bad stuff about him. I'm like, what bad stuff? Everybody
and
has
at the
bad
end,
stuff.
And at the end of the day, she was now the one that was speaking on his behalf.
Yes,
are you saying the way
because she knows I'm going to mention her name, and her name was never even in my mind to mention, because I told her not to put me in her blog. I'm in pain, and you want to use me to make money. And she kept saying, because the money came from her. Can you imagine? Did I ask you to come in? You did. You're not there. Even the chairman told me that the phone was not with Suleiman. That Suleiman told her that the phone is with Ima Black. That's his name. His name is Ima, because she told me Emmanuel. I kept saying, who is Emmanuel? She said the Johnson is not with his phone, that she just heard him talking about it. That's why she called me to tell me. So it's a long issue. You can see that the relationship is actually quite, it's not just a relationship. That's why so many people were in it, and I did not know. I was the last person to know that people are aware that we were actually dating or have dated. So everybody actually, you know, gathered to, you know, shred me, because I'm going to say it's a setup that I fell into.
You said you just wanted to speak your truth, also to let ladies out there know that
yes,
is just
even
okay.
when they tell you that they're not married, you should do, you know, your own investigation. And if you're okay with him being married, then, you know, it's between both of you. If you're, you know, from a polygamous family and you want to go into a polygamous home, that's your own business. But for me, I'm not cut out to go break anybody's home.